Hey bro, hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome to the Hero Body System, the 3 hour a week system, turning mentally and physically burnt out hustlers into looking, feeling, and performing like a real life superhero. And I'm not even exaggerating. This exact system that I'm about to share with you in this video is undeniable. And I guarantee if you follow the 3 phases that are involved, you will reach a sub 12% body fat physique and or pack on at least 6 kilograms of lean muscle in 24 weeks. Guaranteed. And I'm so confident in this that all the clients that work with me, I offer a full money back guarantee if they implement all 3 phases of this protocol and don't get results like these. Because I'm believing this so much because it's the exact system that turned me from burnt out and skinny fat, no confidence, look at me bro, no one took me seriously, to a 10% body fat hero physique, all while running a 6-figure business and scoring a 7 GPA during medical school. Alright guys, and not just for me, but for countless others. And I'm not showing you this to be like, oh look at me, look how cool it is, but to inspire you bro, because you could easily be on this slide. It isn't as hard and doesn't take the amount of time as most people think it does if you have the right system. People like Nick, who was also studying in med school, was able to pack on 13 kilograms of lean muscle over 6 months, going from victim weight 61 kg to 74 kg absolute Chad. You can see what he said here. Before working with Jad, he struggled to find the right balance between his nutrition and his workouts. He was just training, but he didn't have a proper program to get into. Energy levels were all over the place, and you can see how much this actually impacted his studies, right? He lacked consistency, but throughout, as we worked with each other, we implemented a personalized nutrition plan, a tailored workout split, and everything started to fall into place. For the first time, he had a clear plan, and just look at the before and after. That speaks for itself. We got Amir, business owner from Dubai, busy schedule, traveling for pretty much half the year, was able to turn his dad bod to a popping 8-pack in just 1 month. Right? And it revolved around an adaptable system that didn't fight with his busy lifestyle, but blended to it. That's the point of the Hero Body system. All my clients here, they can't afford to have their life revolve around fitness. They've got busy schedules, right? We've got Addy. He's literally a full-time trader, also studying in university, right? 2 months in, look at this body recomp, guys. 76 kg to 71 kg, right? He's been gymming prior to this for 2 years straight, consistently, right? He built strength, but not the physique that he wanted. So what we did, we developed a ruthlessly effective strategy, streamlined to Addy's trading, work, and uni schedule. And in just 2 months, look at the data, right? We increased energy levels from a 6 out of 10 to 10 out of 10. His waist circumference went down by 5 centimeters and ultimately was reducing his body fat from 21% to 16%. Okay, you can imagine what this change in his physique, his confidence, his energy was doing for him work-wise, right? 2 to 5x increase in his workflow productivity, allowing him to make more money, get better grades, and just buy back his time to focus on building his future. This is what this system is about. It's for ambitious guys wanting more out of life, and they know that they can give more. They know their potential, and they want to capitalize on it. And I want to emphasize, this is not for everyone. Okay, what I'm about to show you is not for everyone. All right. Look at David, right? 77 kg to 70 kg fat loss. He's still with me, so this is his progress so far. Right? Abs are coming through for the first time in his life. When he first joined with me, he was bloated, he had inflammation, he was craving junk even when he was full, and had on and off focus. His love handles was covering his 6-pack. What we did, we used an eating framework that was adaptable, enjoyable, and sustainable, and just look at the results. All right? We've got Matt, right? Plus 5 kilograms of lean muscle in just 30 days, right? First time he stepped on the scale and he was above 68. Absolutely wild. I get so pumped up seeing these results. And You know, this is not to show off again. This is to inspire you, bro, because this could be you, man. Like, look at this. Increase in energy, better mood, and just read this. Like, pause the video and read this. This really makes my day, bro. This is why I do this, okay? You got Moran, stronger, leaner, cut the love handles. Cal, who's down 5 kg with less than 3 hours a week of gym. Okay, we used a system, a roadmap for crystal clear clarity along the way, so that he was consistently working towards his goals. A lot of people, they give up after 1 month, 2 months. This system makes it impossible because we enforce your decisions with real-time data. That makes it very difficult to stay off track. All right. Keelan, going from 103 kg to 97 kg in 30 days. First time under 100 kg. So, like, look at this. Absolutely insane, all right? And countless more. Like, I'm not even going to dive into any more, right? But let's get into it. How did it start, right? How did it start for me, right? Look at me, bro. Even seeing these old photos kind of makes me chuckle a bit. So, I just got accepted into med school, all right? Just got accepted into med school, had very little confidence in myself, right? Skinny, weak, and like most guys, invisible, all right? I had low energy with midday crashes, super high stress levels, and relying on caffeine just to get by. I was either working or studying 24/7, yet I still was falling behind. I felt stuck, quite frankly, guys. I felt stuck in survival mode. I was on the back foot and I was just purely reacting to life rather than creating the life that I wanted. Okay. I was relying on bursts of motivation to make an effort, and I had absolutely no systems for consistency. I had big ambitions, right? I had big ambitions. I wanted to be the best doctor I could be. I wanted to own a business. I wanted to do all these things, but my body and mind just wasn't keeping up. So I started following mainstream fitness advice, which basically, to sum it up, went something like, if you want real results, you need to track every single calorie and just basically just live in the gym. So I did. But the information overload just made it a guessing game. And this is the problem nowadays. There is so much information, so much tactics, so much strategies that people blast online that it actually makes you move backwards rather than forwards, because you're just overwhelmed and paralyzed with the amount of things. Most people are so much better off just implementing a few strategies that have been proven to work over a consistent enough time frame, and they'll get exactly where they need to be, right? The information overload is crazy nowadays, and it's a lot of what holds people back, right? So that's what I did. I fell into that trap. Did random Instagram workouts, unstructured meals. I feared foods because of all the fear mongering. And recovery? What recovery? No recovery. I was overtraining, overinflamed, you name it. Progress was slow, and I went backwards every time I took my foot off the gas pedal. I felt like my fitness progress was actually battling against my business and my academic growth. Right? This is not the life I wanted to lead. I didn't want fitness to revolve around my life. I'd spam the I'm too busy or it's not for me excuse every time I slipped up. And this approach obviously flopped after 6 months of giving it my all. But then I realized something, all right? I didn't need to work harder, slave more hours than what I was currently putting in, or cut out what made me tick, my favorite foods, my favorite exercises. I needed a better system. One that didn't make life revolve around fitness, but instead a system that helped me dominate on all fronts without boundaries or compromise. So I pulled the trigger. 12 months later, after over $15,000 spent into coaching and mentors, and the prior 1 to 2 years of just pure brutal trial and error, which I don't want anyone to go through, I had built a successful tuition company with over 50 students and 10 members of staff while scoring a 7 GPA during medical school. And I did this all while packing on 15 kilograms of extra lean muscle at 10% body fat naturally. It didn't require more discipline, more hours, or more sacrifice to my busy schedule or personal success. It actually made me more successful in those other aspects. And that's the thing. Health is the thing that supercharges the rest of your life if you do it correctly. It was just a ruthlessly effective lifestyle system that transformed me from geek to freak in 12 months. It was a newfound energy, confidence, and mindset that helped me dominate med school while building businesses. And step one to actually getting there was analyzing why I was stuck at average. So I'm going to show you something that changed my life. It's called the Hero Health Curve. Okay, and I want you to actually DM me from this video which phase that you think you're in, and I'll send you a free resource to get you to phase 3, which is the protagonist. This is the phase that everyone wants to be in, okay? But only the 1% actually are, and it's because of these other limiting situations. So the first phase that everyone starts off in is the beginner, right? Look at me, bro. Nobody took me seriously. And the catchphrase for the beginner is, someday I'll start properly. Okay, they do random workouts with no structure, the same old eating habits, frequently tired with low energy and drive, motivation spikes and then dies. They have zero momentum, they're paralyzed with overinformation, they're struggling to see real progress with inconsistent effort, and life keeps getting in the way. Okay, the transition to get out of this phase, there's 3 paradigm shifts that are required. If you're in this phase, you need to change someday to a scheduled commitment. You need to change the random information overload to just a simple strategy and take action. And you need to change the fact that you're waiting for the right time to making now the right time. The right time is never going to be the case if you keep waiting for it. You have to decide if it's the right time, all right? Simple as that. Then there's phase 2. Look, I was stuck in this phase for so fucking long, guys. Sorry for swearing. I was stuck in this phase for ages. The catchphrase of this phrase is more grind equals more gains. I just need to put more hours in the gym. I just need to put more hours into study. I just need to put more hours into the business to grow it, right? That mentality that I just need to work harder and have more discipline. I'm not a disciplined person. I'm just lazy. All these things that people say, right? The outcomes of this is I saw newbie gains, right? You can basically do anything with consistency and you'd get from stage 1 to stage 2. Now the trouble is that you've seen these newbie gains, but you're still unhappy with what's in the mirror. This was me for the longest time, guys. Like, I knew where I stood, but I lacked the data to execute with clarity. I was also scared to invest into myself, to invest in a coach that knew more than me. And I had the mentality that I was like, I just should figure it out alone, you know? My gym was battling with my schedule, and that made me very stressed, and the rewards were quite low. I was working hard, always busy, but progress was slow, and I was relying on discipline and willpower to show up every single day. Now, phase 2 is actually quite dangerous because unresolved, which is basically more than 90% of men, it leads to this spiral where every time you have some motivation and you're very disciplined for a period of your life, and then something gets in the way and you fall off, quote unquote, you fall off. And then you go back again, I'm on the grind, bro, monk mode. And then you fall off, life gets in the way, you get too busy, you lose motivation, progress isn't coming quick enough, and you just oscillate for the rest of your life in periods of you being semi-locked in to periods of you falling off, and on and off and on and off. And look, the end of this isn't pretty. I was here for a while as well. This is what led me to phase 2.1, the hidden phase, the victim. I tried, but it's not for me. Okay, I see this all the time. The symptoms of this is the yo-yoing weight across the years with attempted cut, bulk, and rebound cycles, a permanently and chronically tired body. I was stuck in a destructive dopamine cycle, right? There were some days, guys, where I would literally wake up and the first thing I would do was scroll or watch porn. It was that bad, right? I felt stuck, yet no time or energy to change my situation. My testosterone levels were tanking. I had low muscle mass, right? Reactive living and letting circumstances and others determine my life course rather than me building the life that I wanted, okay? And ultimately, I was haunted by what could have been, my potential being wasted. This was my biggest fear. And luckily, I snapped out of it, right? This is the key to snapping out of this phase, and that's turning grinding blindly towards burnout to a smarter system that fits the life you're building. guessing the shots and using willpower as fuel, to executing with intention and tracking what matters most. And monk mode, the very glamorized monk mode, turning that into connecting and building with like-minded others, right? A brotherhood, a network, coaches, people that know more than you, and people on the same path as you. And this is why I'm so dedicated to creating that for you guys. I'm speaking to my younger self here. But only 1% of men are willing to do this, which is why only 1% of men have a physique like mine, right? But it really isn't that difficult. It just requires a few mental shifts, and the result is absolutely spectacular, right? Phase 3, the protagonist. With the right system, I am undeniable. Got the lean and jacked hero physique that I wanted, that every single guy wants. Training for functional muscle with pure efficiency. Eating for peak physical and cognitive performance. And applying hero principles to a personalized system that keeps you passively jacked for life. That is my goal, guys. My goal is to give you a system that you can use to get lifelong results with or without me, all right? No calorie obsession, no living at the gym. Fitness does not subtract from your life. It maximizes your life. It makes it better in all aspects. The energy, the confidence, the self-belief. All day high energy to think big and build bigger. A hero identity. It's all about the identity shift, guys. You make a hero identity for yourself where the physique is just an attribute of you being the best possible version of yourself. And last but not least, building wealth on all fronts, not just your health. Winning back your time, your energy, and that will then lead to more money being made. I guarantee it, guys. All right. So without further ado, this is the hero health curve. Again, DM me what phase you're in, and I'll give you the free resources to break out. All right, I promise you that. All right. So finally, without further ado, what is this system? Okay, now I just want to emphasize this system, the hero body system I'm about to show you guys, is not for everyone. And I just wanted to pull up this doc to show you guys who this system is actually not for, because it's not for everyone, all right? It's not for you if you are not committed to becoming the best version of yourself. That's pretty obvious, okay? It's not for you if the idea of wasted potential doesn't scare you. Okay, it's not for you if you think this is going to be a quick fix. Achieving the dream physique, achieving a hero level physique is a lifestyle. It's not a 4-week challenge. It's not an 8-week challenge. It's a lifestyle made through building sustainable habits, all right? It's not for you if you let circumstances, others, and external events impact your actions and decisions. Or I'm just going to wait for this to happen. Or I'm a bit busy right now, I can't make it happen. Excuses, all right? It's not for you if you like to wait and play it safe instead of making the call that's right for you. It's not for you if you have heaps of time all day, okay? This is for busy people. If you have 2-3 hours a day to go to the gym each day, this system is probably not for you, okay? This is for people that want to maximize their ROI on their time to build the best possible physique in the most efficient way possible. Literally as little as 3 hours a week, guys, all right? It's not for you if the gym and fitness is your personality. Again, this is a system designed to bring the best out of life, to make life not revolve around fitness, all right? And this is for you if you're okay with average. This is for people that don't want to settle for average and want extraordinary outcomes, okay? Simple as that. All right. So the hero body system. Let's get into it, guys. The first phase that's required is a shred sprint, okay? This is to achieve a sub 12% body fat physique first, revealing the raw muscle beneath all the fluff. And this is the phase required for you to go from invisible to people telling you, holy shit, you are ripped, man, okay? It's the shred sprint. All right, this is the physique that I had at the time of doing this. The next phase is the anabolic hyperdrive. This is increasing your muscle mass while staying lean, stacking between 5 to 10 kg of muscle, skyrocketing your strength and physical performance, and becoming a weapon that nobody can ignore, all right? And last but not least, the hero arc. This is for the rest of your life, because I want to give you guys lifelong results. I don't want to give you a seasonal good physique and then you losing it as soon as life gets in the way, right? We want to get this for life. So the objective of the hero arc is to achieve C-suite level control of your health, like a CEO does in his business, all right? a 50 to 100% increase in testosterone levels with blood work. Use the energy, confidence, and belief installed from your body to build a life you don't want to escape from. And leading an enjoyable lifestyle where fitness just runs on autopilot, keeping you passively jacked for life. This is me so far, okay? We're still building, we're still growing. Now, how does this actually work? There are 3 pillars to the hero body system. The first is the hero body protocols. Okay, this revolves around the 3 pillars of training, nutrition, and recovery. Okay, training that maximizes muscle in minimal time using a proven 3-hour-a-week growth formula. Sahil, right, one of my clients who was actually in the anabolic hyperdrive phase, was increasing his strength in all lifts every single week, PBs every single session. This is the power of this system. We want to be increasing functional muscle, not just aesthetics, all right? Number 2, a high octane meal system to obliterate body fat, stack muscle, and level up energy. Fuel like a Ferrari. That's the catchphrase they use. Because if you give a Ferrari poor quality fuel, what do you expect? It's not going to perform at the capacity you want it to. It's the same with your body. Right? A lot of you guys, and what I used to do as well, is give myself poor quality foods and expect myself to run like a Ferrari. It just doesn't work that way, guys. It's all linked together. And you can see here, this is what we implemented with David. You can tell these meals aren't restrictive. They're not just all chicken and rice, right? He's eating his favorite foods, even every now and then, some GYG. That's okay. It's not about restriction. It's about a sustainable plan that works for you, okay? And look at the results. Right, down 6.4 kg so far. All right, work hard and smart. Recover harder with the golden volume to recovery ratio. Okay, this is what we implemented with Nick before he was overtraining. He didn't know what he was doing. He was just inflaming his body and getting the pump and leaving. Okay, we implemented a smarter training plan. Okay, 5 days a week, very efficient workouts that he could balance with med school. Okay, and as a result, he packed on muscle because he was recovering properly as well, not just giving himself some junk stimulus. Okay, executing with intention and purpose, no noise, all signal, no fluff, just the proven 80-20. The exact 80-20 that got Addy to this physique, Keelan to his fat loss goals, and many more. All right, next, the performance data sets. This is step 2. The second pillar is performance data sets. If you are not measuring your progress, your data, you are not improving. You don't know what to improve because you don't have access to the right numbers. Okay, this is the importance of tracking your health like KPIs in a business. Okay, this will allow us to execute with CEO level clarity with a transformation roadmap built for a lifelong hero physique. Okay, this involves regular check-ins with me to keep you accountable, to raise the standards for your life, and to give you the high-level strategies that adjust on a weekly basis to make sure you're continuing to make progress. So things like the health data set board that I map out every single client that starts with me, you know, tracking energy levels, waist circumference. So for example, Addy, who decreased his body fat by 5% and increased his subjective energy by 66%, right? We've even got roadmap throughout the whole process to make sure that you are continuing to make progress in the direction you want to and avoiding plateaus, okay? This will give you the God level clarity you need to not give up too early, to not throw in the towel too early, to make sure that we are continuing to make progress. And last but not least, the lifestyle flow. It's making sure that fitness blends with your lifestyle. You have an integrated system, okay? So this involves a personalized peak performance routine where you're no longer relying on motivation and willpower, but you're actually creating real systems that thrive regardless of your external situation, okay? This is exactly what we created with Emir, right? He was a burnt out business owner, low energy and drive. He built business systems, but not a health system, okay? And as a result, he had a soft physique that didn't match his level of success. But in just 30 days, we transformed his physique using an efficient system that blended with his life, that didn't restrict his business growth, but actually fueled it, all right? As a result, look at the mass he's gained on his back. Look at the definition. He got back his six-pack, like insane results in only a matter of 30 days. Imagine what you can achieve in 6 months, all right? Things like a weekly grocery list, adapted to the right foods to eat in the right portions. An absolute game changer for Amir, allowing him to buy the right foods on a weekly basis without even thinking about it. Just a thing running on autopilot. This is how we want it to be, guys. Okay, it's about creating frameworks that interconnect health to a high quality of life, not as conflicting priorities. Okay, it's about building a hero identity and mindset that eliminates the possibility of failure from the equation, forging habits that keep you in shape for life, and applying principles to succeed in your fitness with independence and fulfillment. That is my goal. My goal is to give you a proven health system that allows you to achieve your personal goals while absolutely transforming your physique, right? Increasing energy, mood, less stress. These are just the changes Matt has noticed in the first 2 to 3 weeks of joining up, all right? So that, my friend, is the Hero Body System. If you actually want me to run through the system personalized for you, bro, and how that will work for your life, shoot me a DM. Let me know what you think. More than happy to help you out and see if we would be a good fit to work together as well. But other than that, enjoy the rest of your day, man. God bless, and looking forward to hearing from you soon. Let's go.